Good morning students. Sairam. Welcome to your next SS period. Now today we will be learning history. What you can see on your screen is the cover page of your 9th standard history textbook. Till last year you all had been learning history and civics. Now this year we will be studying history and political science. In political science also you will be learning about the political affairs of the country. Now let's have a look at the content of the textbook. These are the history lessons wherein there are total 10 lessons in history. Next you have political science where you have total 6 lessons in political science. Till last year you all had been learning about the various periods in history. That is the ancient, medieval and modern history you will have learned in your 6th, 7th and 8th standards. Now this year you will be learning about the history of India in the post-independence era. Now from where do you get information about all these historical events? Yes, of course, from various sources that we get the information. So that is what we are going to learn in your first lesson in history, that is sources of history. Now you all are aware about the various sources of history. Which are the various sources of history? Yes, you have the written source, then material source, oral source and the fourth audio-visual medium from where you can get information about the past historical events. We are going to learn in detail about all these sources in this lesson. Now first let's start with the written source. Now as we are learning about the history of modern period. Modern period history can be divided at various levels. Now which are the levels in which it could be divided? First, the regional level, state level, national level and international level. So you can divide the modern period into these 4 levels and accordingly you can learn about each level in detail. So let's begin with the written sources. Now you can see on your screen there is a web diagram wherein it specifies what all comes under written sources. So what is there in written source? You have the encyclopedia, you have postage stamps, you have magazines, then you have the government gazettes, documents, periodicals, diaries, and correspondence. All these comes under written sources. Now as we are learning about the written sources, first, and we have also seen that there are archives. What do you mean by archives? So archives are nothing but the place where historical documents are preserved. So the place where historical documents are preserved, they are called as archives. So where is the main office of this archives located? The main office is located of the National Archives is located in New Delhi. And it is said to be as the largest among the archives in Asia. Yes, so it is the largest among the archives in Asia. So it provides you about all the historical information, as in you can see that all the historical documents are preserved there. Now as we have seen that in written sources, newspapers are one again the most important source of information. Now how do newspapers play an important role? First thing, they are said to be as the 4th pillar of democracy in modern period. Of course, everybody's day begins with a newspaper, right? So it is said to be as one of the fourth pillar of democracy in the modern period. Why? So because it is one of the major medium for information. How would people get information about the events or about what is happening in their surrounding? It is through this medium, that is the newspaper. It provides information related to political, social, economic, cultural, from all backgrounds. Yes. And so you can see from 1961 to 2000 there was no alternative to print media, because it was the only source of information from where people could be made aware about the happenings in their surroundings. So that is the reason newspaper play a most important role in the modern period. Nextly, you can see that after liberalization and widespread use of internet in India, like after getting freedom, people started inventing new technologies, new inventions. Then we became aware with the that is the internet was started in India. So after that, you would see that there was an alternative for print media, but the print media is has still continued to be very powerful. Yes, though people listen to the news with the help of news channels or on the mobiles through internet, though it has an alternative, but we can see that a beginning of the morning with a cup of tea with a newspaper. So you must have seen your grandparents, your parents also been reading the newspaper. So that means it is still continued to be very powerful. Nextly, it gives us information about national and international affairs, politics, arts, sports, social and cultural affairs. So how is newspaper helpful for us? It provides us information about all the corners, like social, economic, cultural, political, from all spheres of the society. You get to know about the happenings all around. Secondly, it also displays, or it also tells about the matters which are related to human life. Now what matters related to human life? You can say like related to human rights, or presently you can see the situation that which we are going through. So you can also get information about it. And also you can see that there are regional editions of newspapers. That means the local editions of newspapers, wherein local news about that particular area is being provided. So in this way, newspaper has proved to be a great source of information all through. Now, apart from that, you also see that in the newspapers there are supplements. How are those supplements helpful? These supplements gives us additional information. Like you have supplements related to sports, related to school activities. Like just take an example of NIE newspaper, wherein you have so much of information related to sports, related to school, related to education, and also related to political affairs. So it provides you information about all. Then you have newsletters of various movements, then dailies or weeklies, political parties, monthly and annual magazines. They are also important source of information. Can you give me some examples of magazines? Like for example, just think about children. Yes, you have the Filmfare, or you have the Reader's Digest. Then also you have it provides you then you have the Sports Star. Yes, so wherein it provides you information about the various fields. Then apart from that, how is it helpful? The special supplements at the end of the year. Now that is as I mentioned you about the magazines or the supplements which are there at the end of the year, which are published, which provide you information about the annual report of all the happenings in all strata of the society, political, social, cultural, economic, everything. So this is the way in how the print media has proved helpful to us. Now, as we are learning about print media, Press Trust of India. After 1953, the PTI and proved to be an important source of information. Now, what did the PTI? It provided with reports, photographs and articles. So how it proved to be useful? That about those past events, it provided with the reports of the happenings of those events, then also with the photographs of those particular events, and also with the articles written on those particular events. So in this way, Press Trust of India has proved to be helpful. Later on, afterwards you'll find that it also started its online service. Print media also made its online service available, wherein people can get information at a faster speed and from wherever available. Yes. Nextly, you would see during 1990s, PTI also started using the satellite broadcast technology. So it proved to be very helpful. Instead of teleprinters, it started using its satellite broadcast technology. Then later you'll find it proved to be an important material for writing the history of modern India. So in this way, the PTI that published was proved to be an important material source for writing the history of modern India. Yes, it provided with all kind of information. Now, just an additional information for you. Do you know information which is contained in the related to annual issues, okay, which is contained in the publication division of the Government of India? So whatever information related to the annual issues mentioned in the publication division of the Government of India is said to be very authentic and trustworthy. So one example, that is India 2000. This is the annual reference book wherein all the information related to the annual happenings are being mentioned. Then so you can get all the information related to the annual events. Then it was also created under the provision of the government was being created under the research, reference and training department. Means whatever annual report was being collected, and this was finally created under the research, reference and training department, so that it proved whatever information was there mentioned was more authentic and trustworthy. It also contains the overall information about the land and its people. Now, what information regarding the land and its people related to the life of the people, related to the happenings on that in that particular area, and it is because of all this it was possible to write history. Okay, so there's also a website mentioned, www.publicationsdivision.nic.in, so wherein you can also get the additional information related to this. Now, you all are aware, like previously there was no other source when people would go abroad. So how would they be connected to each other? Like as we have now presently, we can easily, or within a fraction of a second, we can have a talk with whoever is far away from us or get an information related to that person. But previously it was not so. So there was postal service, okay, through which by means of telegraph, letters and all, people telegram and all, people would get connected to each other. So that is again one of the historical source of information you can get about postal stamps. Now I hope some of you must have also seen how the postal stamps are, because now probably we don't use that as much. So just have a look on your screen. You can see that there are the pictures of various postal stamps. Now what you can see in these pictures? Yes, you can see that it shows you about there are certain printing has been done on the pictures. What kind of printing is that? It talks about that particular area, that particular place, or also it tells you about the leaders or new inventions like the telephone, then about the trains, railways. Okay, so that means on the postal stamps also you could see that the information related to new technology was being printed. Now who is the person behind this? Who has brought about all this? Now this postal stamps, they don't reveal everything on their own. Whatever is mentioned on the stamp or with the picture on the stamp, nothing they reveal on their own. But the historians make them speak. Now how do the historians make them speak? Like you can see that there are several changes in the postal stamp. You could see that there were 4 different types of postal stamps, when there were various figures related to that particular era or that particular period, or new inventions, new technology. So they reveal you about the changing times of that period. Yes. Now when we are talking about the postal stamps, the postal department issues postal stamps on variety of themes. So you can see that there are variety of themes could be mentioned on the postal stamps, like how you have seen on the coins also. When you studied in your 7th and 8th standards, inscribed on the coins were the about the rulers, about the agricultural activities and all. Same way in the postal stamps also could be mentioned with variety of themes. Now what are the variety of themes could be mentioned on the postal stamps? You can see it talks about flowers, animals like national flower, national bird, national animal, then about various silver and golden jubilees of any events, or also the centenary or the bicentenary. Now what do you mean by centenary? Centenary is the 100th anniversary of any significant event. Same way is the bicentenary, that is 200, and the tricentenary. So in this way of the different events can be mentioned. Now when we are talking about this postal stamps, who is the person behind this? Now you can see a picture on your screen wherein a personality you can see, and that is again a postal stamp wherein the person is Jarl Cooper. Now who is Jarl Cooper? Jarl Cooper, you can see the Indian government had issued a stamp in 1977, and that was the Jarl Cooper, which we have seen just now in the previous picture, and it was internationally acclaimed. Yes, Jarl Cooper is an internationally acclaimed philatelist. Now what do you understand by philatelist? A philatelist is a person who is an expert on the subject of postage stamps. Okay, so Jarl Cooper is an Indian philatelist. He was born in a Parsi household in Mumbai, and Cooper edited India's Stamp Journal. He is said to be as the editor of the India Stamp Journal, and also a founder of the first philatelic bureau of India. So what is this? So it is an office that collected stamps. So what is a philatelic bureau? An office that collected stamps. Now he also founded the Empire of Philatelic Society. Nextly, he wrote many books on this subject, that is subject related to postage stamps, and he took the study of Indian postage stamps to international level. So he was the one who had made this postage study reached at the international level. He started his career as a postage stamp collector and he achieved the expertise of philatelist at the international level. So you can see that the postage stamp on Jarl Cooper is proved to be an important source to understand the significant contribution in this field. So he has very greatly significantly contributed in the field of postage stamps. So children, now today we have learnt about the sources of history, various sources, and specifically we are learning about written source, in which we are learnt about the print media, newspapers, how they proved to be a great source of information for us. Then also we have learnt about the postage stamps and the great personality who had made the postage stamps reach to international level, that is the Jarl Cooper. So in short, we'll just have a recap. I'll ask you few questions. Let me see how many of you can answer. What is considered as the fourth pillar of democracy? Yes, newspapers are said to be the fourth pillar of democracy. What did PTI start during 1990s? Yes? Yes, they started the satellite broadcast. Next, what did the Indian government issue in 1977? Yes, it issued the Jarl Cooper stamp. What did Jarl Cooper find? He founded the Empire of India Philatelic Society. Yes, so today we shall stop for the day and then we'll continue with the remaining sources in our next class. Thank you.